Emmerdale producer Laura Shaw has spoken out about Joe Tate's uncertain future following a major warning from his fiancée during last week's episodes. Joe now finds himself facing a huge turning point after Dawn Fletcher demanded that he finally put an end to his bitter conflict with the Dingle family. Otherwise, she would begin to question their future together and walk away. Recent scenes showed pregnant Dawn seriously thinking about leaving the village after successfully tricking Joe out of a large amount of money. Her behavior became increasingly cold after witnessing several examples of Joe's darker nature and fearing the effect it could have on her children. However, Joe has since vowed to become a better man and has even attempted to repair his damaged relationship with longtime enemy Moira Dingle in an effort to prove himself to Dawn. The big question now is whether this marks the beginning of genuine change, or if Joe will once again break the promises he has made. Speaking exclusively to Inside Soap, Laura explained that she views Dawn and Joe's relationship as a true love story. She suggested that despite all the terrible things Joe has done, Dawn still sees a side to him that many others fail to recognize. She went on to say that Joe's troubled childhood and the loss of his father shaped him into the complicated person he has become today. Laura also believes Dawn sees hope within him and thinks there is still a man underneath everything who genuinely wants to be a devoted partner and caring father. According to her, Dawn continues to believe she can bring out Joe's better qualities, and if she succeeds, the pair could eventually create a happy family life together. Viewers have watched Joe behave ruthlessly in recent months, after he secretly played a major role in framing Moira for the crimes committed by Celia Daniels and Ray Walters. Even though events quickly spiraled far beyond his original intentions, Joe chose to stay silent, while Moira faced accusations of double murder and involvement in human trafficking. As a result of the devastating ordeal, Moira was forced to give up Butler's farm and eventually sold the property to the Tates. Robert Sugden and Aaron Dingle later moved onto the land as tenant farmers and renamed the famous location Emmerdale Farm. Robert Sugden was convinced he had finally uncovered the identity of the mysterious arsonist during Tuesday's episode of Emmerdale. The character has been struggling to cope ever since a series of fires targeted the farm, leaving him increasingly paranoid that someone is deliberately trying to destroy his life. For weeks, he has been desperate to expose whoever is responsible. During the latest episode, Robert revealed to Aaron Dingle that he believed he had finally pieced everything together. A tense discussion with Matty Barton sparked Robert's suspicions and made him think he had worked out who was truly behind the attacks. Although earlier scenes hinted that Cami Hadid could be involved, while many viewers have also suspected Kyle Winchester, Robert became convinced the culprit was somebody entirely different. Aaron was shocked when Robert pointed the finger at his close friend Mackenzie Boyd. Robert suggested Mackenzie could be acting out of revenge after Robert recently helped Joe Tate manipulate events against Moira Dingle. Joe had framed Moira for crimes connected to Celia Daniels in order to take control of her farm. His plan eventually succeeded, and he later handed the property over to Robert, making him the lead tenant. Since then, both the Tate family and Robert have faced growing anger from Moira and her relatives, leading Robert to suspect that one of them may be responsible for the fires. Robert is now convinced either Mackenzie or Matty could be carrying out the attacks. His suspicions grew stronger after Matty openly admitted he was still holding a grudge against him during their conversation. However, Aaron appeared far less certain and warned Robert not to start making serious accusations unless he had proper proof. The storyline follows a noticeable credits mistake during last week's episode that left many fans convinced the ITV soap may have accidentally revealed the arsonist's identity. At the beginning of Thursday's episode, viewers briefly saw the mystery fire starter, though their face remained hidden. The person appeared wearing a dark hooded tracksuit and trainers while holding a lighter. But when the end credits rolled, some eagle-eyed fans noticed one character's name appearing at the very top of the cast list. Because the credits are usually shown in order of appearance, many viewers became convinced the program had unintentionally exposed the culprit. Kyle Winchester's name appeared first, leading fans to believe he was the person featured in the opening fire scene. Despite this, some viewers think the clue may have been deliberately misleading in order to distract attention from the real arsonist. Others ignored the credits entirely and still believe somebody else is secretly responsible for the attacks. Emmerdale fans were left fearing a possible exit storyline after Cami Hadid found himself accused of being the mystery fire starter during Wednesday's episode. The following scenes contain spoilers from the May 27th episode, which is already available on ITVX and YouTube ahead of its ITV1 broadcast. Cami had the perfect opportunity to finally admit to Belle Dingle that he was homeless, but once again he could not bring himself to reveal the truth. Belle first became suspicious earlier this week after noticing Cami seemed uncomfortable whenever the subject of his family came up. Her concerns deepened when she suggested visiting his home to wish his relatives a happy Eid, only for Cami to react defensively and quickly shut the idea down. His harsh response immediately left Belle unsettled. Later, while speaking with Dawn Taylor at Take a Vow, Belle questioned whether her worries were simply connected to the emotional scars left behind by her abusive past relationship. Despite trying to convince herself otherwise, Belle's instincts proved accurate because Cami really was hiding a major secret. Over at a barn on Emmerdale Farm, Cami was secretly sleeping rough, wrapped in a blanket while trying to warm up baked beans before spending another freezing night alone. During Wednesday's episode, more details about Cami's difficult situation finally emerged, though he still failed to confide in Belle. Things quickly took a dramatic turn when Robert Sugden and Aaron Dingle discovered Cami standing in one of the fields holding both a petrol can and a lighter. The pair instantly became convinced he was responsible for the fires that have recently targeted the farm. They refused to believe Cami's explanation that he had actually intended to burn his own car. Feeling trapped and unable to defend himself properly, Cami jumped into his vehicle and drove away. Although viewers know he is not the real arsonist, his refusal to explain his homelessness to Robert and Aaron only made him appear even more suspicious. Actor Shebs Mia previously explained that Cami becomes deeply upset by the accusations because the situation forces him to relive painful memories from his past. The actor revealed that Cami has endured many hardships in life, and being blamed once again brings back feelings of isolation and rejection. He also suggested Cami is used to finding himself unfairly targeted and struggling to defend himself when the majority of people turn against him. Believing they had finally identified the culprit, Aaron later visited Belle and informed her that her boyfriend appeared to be involved in criminal activity. Elsewhere, Cami arrived at Dale View and desperately asked Vinnie Dingle for help after realizing he had completely run out of options. Emmerdale continues on weeknights at 8 p.m. on ITV1 and is also available for streaming on ITVX.